When I pushed open the door to our bridal suite, my hand was still trembling. Today was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, my wedding with Evan Carter. We had known each other for 10 years, from high school hoodies to wedding gowns. Everyone said we were soulmates. But the laughter leaking through the doorway was sharp enough to cut skin. I took a deep breath and pushed the door open. The room was packed with people, cigarette smoke mingled with alcohol, and on my brand new marriage bed sat two people, Evan, my groom. His shirt unbuttoned 3 buttons down, and sprawled across his lap, wearing my silk bridal rom nightwear, was Chloe Bennett, his childhood sweetheart, the good friend I'd known since high school. The pajama set was supposed to be part of my wedding trousseau, a soft blush pink silk set my mother had custom ordered from Italy, embroidered at the collar with my initials, EM, yet Chloe was lying there in it, practically glued to Evan's chest, her fingers drawing circles on his skin. 7 or 8 people around them were whistling and egging them on. Well, look who finally decided to show up. A buzzcut guy smirked. We've been waiting forever. Evan said Chloe would help block the wedding night pranks for him. You don't mind, right? What's there to mind? A woman chimed in sharply. She's doing you a favor, honey. Otherwise you would be the one getting teased. Some brides are just so uptight, such a buzzkill. My nails dug crescents into my palm. Chloe lifted her head and gave me a syrupsweet smile. She deliberately snuggled closer to Evan, her neckline slipping lower. Emma, you're back? She cooed, voice soft as cotton candy. Sorry. They were going overboard. Evan asked me to take the heat for him. You're not mad, are you? We've been friends for so many years. Evan finally looked at me. His eyes held impatience, like he was scolding a child who didn't know her place. Why are you just standing there? He said. Come sit. Chloe's doing this for your sake. Can you not be so petty? Try acting a little more mature, okay? The words hit like a bucket of ice water dumped straight over my skull. 10 years of scraping by, from basement apartments to startups. 10 years of staying up 3 nights straight when he had stomach bleeding. 10 years of begging investors when his company nearly collapsed. 10 years of believing him when he said, Emma, when the company goes public, we'll get married. And today, our wedding day, he let another woman wear my bridal pajama set, lie on our marriage bed, cling to him, and then told me, Emma, be mature. The room went still for a moment. Every pair of eyes was on me, waiting for the childish bride to cry, waiting for me to cause a scene, waiting for me to beg like I had so many times before. I unclenched my fist, then I smiled. I'm not mad, I said, my own voice sounding almost foreign in its calm. This wedding prank thing? Sure, it seems fun, but just sitting around like this is so boring. I stepped into the center of the room and looked around. Why don't we make it more exciting? I said lightly. Just now someone suggested having a bridesmaid substitute for the groom, right? Which one of you said that? Step up. Let's play strip push-ups. You go on the floor. I sit on your back. Do 10, miss even 1. You strip a piece of clothing. Sound good? The room snapped into stunned silence. The buzzcut guy's grin froze on his face. Chloe's expression faltered. She clutched Evan's sleeve. A few seconds passed and then someone burst out laughing. Holy crap, the bride's a badass. Come on, Tom. Weren't you talking the biggest game just now? Go on. Look at Chloe's face. Oh damn, she's panicking. Evan shot to his feet. Emma Carter, what the hell is wrong with you? I tilted my head at him. Wrong with me? I thought you all wanted a lively wedding prank. I'm just playing along, or is it? My gaze slid to Chloe. Some people only dare to tease others, but can't handle being teased themselves. Chloe's face flushed, beatered, then white. Evan inhaled sharply and walked over to grab my hand. Cut it out. Everyone's watching. We're going on our honeymoon tomorrow, aren't you tired? I pulled my hand away. The moment our skin touched, nausea clawed up my throat. Don't touch me, I said. My voice wasn't loud, but everyone heard it. Evan's hand froze midair. Shock flickered in his eyes. Then anger. He had never imagined the girl who always catered to him would dare embarrass him in public. Chloe let out a soft little laugh. She slid off the bed, padding across the carpet barefoot, and hooked her arm through Evan's like she belonged there. Emma, you really misunderstood, she said sweetly. Evan and I have always played around like this. We even bathed together as kids. If that bothers you, you're in for a long, long ride. Buzzcut guy perked up again. Yeah, bride. Stop being dramatic. It's your big day, why ruin it? Evan treats you well enough. Be grateful. It's just a pajama set, why are you so pressed? Voices jabbed at me like needles. I looked at Evan. He did not push Chloe's hand away. 1 second, 2, 3. Then I walked to the other side of the marriage bed and sat down. The mattress dipped beneath me, the bed I had chosen, the one Evan said he liked because I liked it. Now it was tainted with someone else's perfume, someone else's warmth, someone else's touch. I lifted my eyes. If we're playing, I said, then let's play all the way. I picked up a set of 3 dice from a fruit tray, cheap plastic. The edges worn white. Dice game. Lowest roll gets punished. I placed the dice on my palm. Dare to play? The room fell silent for a moment, then erupted into louder laughter. All right. The bride can play. Come on, who's scared? Evan frowned, but Chloe tugged him down to sit, right across from me. They were shoulder to shoulder. While I sat alone on the other side of the bed, like a third wheel in my own marriage. Your turn, Chloe said, picking up the dice. Her fingers were slender and pale. As she shook them, her silk camisole slid halfway down her shoulder. A few of the men in the room couldn't take their eyes off her. Dice rolled. 4, 5, 6. Wow. Lucky hand. She leaned toward Evan with a sly smile. My luck's always been perfect, Evan. Whatever I want, I always get. Her gaze flicked at me, dripping with implication. Evan rolled next. 5, 5, 6. It was my turn. I held the dice, plastic, cheap, worn down from use, just like this wedding, just like what I thought love was. I threw. 1, 1, 2. A burst of laughter broke out. 4 points. The lowest. The bride's luck. No wonder she can't hold on to a man. Chloe covered her mouth to hide her laughter. Emma, want me to roll for you? Some things just aren't yours, no matter how hard you try. Evan's voice was calm, cold. If you can't handle losing, don't play. Second round. I was still the lowest again for points. Ha ha ha. The bride's cursed tonight. Chloe cooed, voice cloying. See, someone who can't even control dice. What else can they control? From the corner, a man who had been silent all along spoke. That's enough. It was Logan Hayes, Evan's business partner, dragged here to witness the prank. I remembered him because he was the only one not laughing. Evan glared at him. Mr. Hayes, mind your business. Chloe grabbed a bottle of liquor, poured a half cup of red wine into a glass of spirits, and added some beer. She pushed the murky concoction toward me. For your punishment, she said, eyes sparkling, drink it all, and you pass. My stomach churned, severe gastric ulcers. 2 years ago, I'd nearly bled to death after drinking to block Evan. The doctor had forbidden me from touching strong liquor ever again. Evan knew, yet he kept his eyes down, playing with a lighter, saying nothing. I lifted the glass. The liquid swirled against the cup like poison. Everyone stared, curiosity, ridicule, and thrill mixed in their gazes. They thought it was hilarious seeing the bride humiliated on her wedding night. I tilted my head back and drank it all. The burning liquor slashed my throat and seared my stomach. Pain exploded, and I nearly blacked out. My nails dug into my palm to steady myself. Whoa, she actually drank it. Impressive. Chloe clapped, delighted. See? Emma's obedient, fun, right? I set the glass down. Pain racked my stomach. Fire scorched my throat. But my face was unreadable. Next, I said. Chloe reached into her designer bag and pulled out a plastic bag. She unfolded it. Inside was a maid outfit, black, skimpy, short skirt, deep neckline. It even had a fluffy bunny ear headband. Whistles and shouts erupted in the room. Holy crap. Chloe, what is that? This punishment's brutal. Chloe handed it to me, smiling sweetly, put it on and served drinks. The last one was just an appetizer. I touched the rough polyester, cheap lace. Evan finally looked at me, but just once. Then he looked back down, fiddling with the lighter. Go change, someone urged. Don't chicken out. I grabbed the outfit and went into the master bathroom. The door clicked shut. I stared into the mirror at my pale face, still wearing the crimson kippah my mother had embroidered for me. She had said, my daughter must wear the best on her wedding day. I exhaled, tasting alcohol, and began to peel off the kippah. Silk slid down, and I changed into the maid outfit. The fabric rubbed raw against my skin. The skirt barely covered anything. The neckline plunged to my chest. I placed the bunny ear headband on. In the mirror, I looked like a cheap joke. My stomach spasmed. I pushed the door open. The room went instantly quiet, then exploded into louder laughter. Oh my God. She actually put it on. Wow. Bride's got a body. Hurry up. Serve the drinks. Someone shoved a bottle into my hands. I knelt in front of the first-person part of the punishment and poured the drink. My fingers shook, pain, humiliation. Shame it all burned through me, but my face stayed blank by the third pour. Chloe gasped and bent down to pick up a lighter she had dropped, her neckline plunging again. A flash of silver caught my eye. Around her neck hung a necklace, a diamond pendant on a delicate silver chain. I recognized it 3 months ago. Evan went on a business trip to Hong Kong. When he returned, I had helped unpack and seen a velvet box tucked away. Inside was this necklace. My heart had raced. I thought it was my wedding gift, but he never gave it to me. Now it rested against Chloe's bare skin. Oh, you saw it. Chloe straightened, fingers tracing the pendant. Smile sweet and taunting. Evan gave me this as an engagement gift, he said. It suits me best. A buzzing in my head. Something broke. 10 years. Hospital nights. Pleading for money. Endless nights waiting for him. All shattered, like the mixed drink. It burned through my last shred of self-deception. I poured the last glass, stood up, knees wobbled, stomach still burning, sweat trickling down my back, but I stood straight. Evan finally spoke, voice patronizing. Enough, go change, this is ridiculous. Chloe snuggled up to him. Evan's just soft. I smiled, truly smiled. Enough, I said, my voice icy. Now, it's my turn to play. Everyone froze. I walked to the center of the room and pulled a file from my bag. A wedding gift from my mom. The dice game was just the warm-up, I said, slapping the file on the table. Now, let's play for real. Evan frowned. What are you planning now? A bet, I said. 28% of my shares in Brightsky Group. Silence, complete silence. Brightsky Group, Evan's company, 3 years ago, on the brink of collapse. I had secretly persuaded my father to invest, taking 28% shares under my name. Evan didn't know. He always thought I just got lucky. Emma Carter. Evan jumped to his feet. You've lost your mind. I'm not crazy, I said slowly, deliberately. We roll, you win. I give you all my shares and walk away, you lose. I looked at Chloe, then at him. Chloe, take off my pajama set and kneel to apologize. Evan, get out of this room. Tomorrow, we go get a divorce. The room was frozen. Seconds later it erupted. Holy crap, that's insane. 28% shares? Evan would control the company. The bride snapped. Evan's eyes fixed on me, disbelief shifting to greed. Chloe tugged his sleeve. Evan, she's asking for it. You're good at dice. What's the problem? Evan inhaled sharply. You sure? Sign the agreement? Sign it on the spot, I said, pen ready. All witnesses present. Someone even printed the agreement. 10 minutes later, 2 share transfer contracts were on the table. Only the outcome and signatures were needed for legal effect. Evan stared at me, then finally smiled, a smile of someone certain to win. Emma, he said. You'll regret this. Sign, I said, pushing the pen toward him. He scribbled his name. I signed mine. Standard rules, Evan said. Best 2 out of 3, no. I interrupted. 1 roll decides everything. He arched an eyebrow. As you wish. Chloe went first. Her palms sweaty. She rolled slowly. 5. 6. 6. 17. Almost perfect. Winner for sure. Chloe let out a sigh of relief, flicked her hair, and smirked at me. Evan took the dice, weighing them in his hand, wrist flicking. 6. 6. 5. 17. A tie. W what? Both 17. Then what? Roll again? Evan looked at me, corner of his mouth twitching. Looks like a tie. Emma, maybe we should forget it and just enjoy married life. My turn. I cut him off. I picked up the 3 dice, plastic edges worn white. I closed my eyes, not praying, remembering the technique my father taught me as a child. He had been a gambler, clean for 20 years, but his skill never faded. Emma, he had said, so many things in life look like luck, but they're really about skill. I opened my eyes. My wrist trembled. The dice rolled across the table, spinning, colliding, then came to rest. 6. 6. 6. 3 bright red dots, 3 drops of blood. A leopard, a full house, unbeatable, dead silence, then explosion, leopard. 18. Total domination. Holy crap. The bride's hiding serious skills. Evan went pale instantly. He lunged at the table, staring at the dice like they'd been rigged. Chloe screamed. No way. You cheated. I stood slowly, stomach still twisting, wearing a ridiculous maid outfit and bunny ears, but I looked at her like garbage. If you make a bet, I said, you accept the loss. I turned toward the door. Janet, my housekeeper. Janet pushed the door open just as I had instructed her to wait outside. Behind her were 2 bodyguards I had hired. Yes, miss, help Miss Bennet. I paused, take off my pajama set. Janet was a stout woman, ridiculously strong, and had always disliked Chloe. She advanced without a word. What are you doing? Let go. Evan! Chloe shrieked, struggling. Evan tried to intervene but was held back by the bodyguards. With a swift motion, Janet grabbed the silk pajamas at the collar and yanked hard. Rip. The fabric tore. Chloe screamed, crouched, but most of the pajamas were gone. She was left in just underwear, curling on the floor, trembling. The men averted their eyes. The women gasped. Apologize, I said. Chloe, makeup smudged, looked at Evan. He was pinned by the bodyguards, face stormy, unable to speak. Sorry. She stammered, louder. I said flatly, sorry. Sorry. Okay? She broke down, crying. I turned to Evan. Your turn. I pushed the other file toward him. Divorce agreement. Sign. Evan's eyes were red. Emma Carter. You set me up. Sign. I repeated. I won't. You think you've won? Without me, you're nothing. You'll beg me to come back. I smiled. I grabbed a pen and added 1 line to the property division clause. The marital home belongs solely to Emma Carter. Britsky Group shares to be reallocated. Evan Carter retains 22%, half of which transfers to Emma Carter as compensation for emotional damages. I signed. Threw the pen toward him. Sign, I said, or you'll lose not just the company, but be liable for its debts too. Your choice. Evan stared at me like seeing me for the first time. Finally, trembling, he signed. Get out, I said. The bodyguards released him. He staggered toward the crowd. Those who had flattered him earlier now either avoided his gaze or looked at him with mockery. He grabbed his jacket and stormed out. Chloe, wrapped in a blanket from a bodyguard, followed in disgrace. The door shut. The room fell silent. I stood for a long moment, then crouched to pick up the torn silk pajamas. My mother's embroidery was still there. Emma Carter. I hugged the pajamas to my chest. Janet whispered, Miss, are you all right? I looked at the reflection in the mirror, the woman in a bunny ear-made outfit, pale, standing tall. I'm fine, I said. From now on, I would always be fine. That night, Evan and Chloe tried to strike back. Evan posted a photo of them holding hands with the caption, finally realized who the right one is, implying I was the homewrecker. Chloe wrote a post on social media, calling me calculating and climbing up by scheming, implying I was immoral. The public sided with them. People who didn't know the truth berated me, saying I didn't deserve Evan, deserved to be dumped. My parents wanted to use connections to suppress the news. I said, no need. I logged into an old email account and uploaded a video, our wedding night. I had secretly installed cameras in the room supposedly to capture behind-the-scenes footage, but they recorded everything. I edited 3 clips, Chloe in my pajamas on Evan, saying, I'm blocking the pranks for him. Chloe pouring me the mixed drink, my pained expression as I drank. Chloe revealing the necklace, saying, Evan gave me this as an engagement gift. No sound, just images, enough. I posted anonymously, titled, See the Truth About True Love. 10 minutes later, over 10,000 shares. 1 hour later, trending 1, public opinion flipped instantly. Oh my God. She let her childhood friend wear her bridal pajamas on her wedding bed? That drink was mixed liquor. She had gastric bleeding before. The necklace. Wasn't that from Evan's Hong Kong trip? Everyone thought it was for the bride. Scumbag couple. Lock them up. Evan and Chloe's phones blew up. Their company website crashed. Business partners severed ties. My dad finally acted, withdrawing all investments in Britsky. My uncle cut off their supply chain. Evan's decade of work crippled in 3 days. Evan called, hoarse, Emma, let's talk. I was wrong. Chloe and I were just playing. I love you. I remembered the burn of that mixed drink. Evan, I said. Your game is over. Mine is just beginning. I hung up, blocked him. Then I returned to my family's home. My father, CEO of Carter Industries, waited in his office. Decided? He asked. I have. I said, what will you do? Take back everything that's mine, I said, and make sure those who deserve to pay. Pay. My father nodded, handing me a document. Hayes Industries wants to acquire Britsky. You know him, Logan Hayes. They're willing to cooperate. I remembered the man who had spoken up that night. Good, I said. 1 month later, Britsky Group shareholder meeting. Evan looked haggard, 10 years older than he was. He tried to calm the shareholders, but everyone's faces were grave. The conference room door opened. I walked in. dressed in a sharp black suit, heels clicking on the floor, voice steady. All eyes turned toward me. Evan's eyes widened. Emma Carter. How? Good afternoon, shareholders, I said, walking to the podium and placing a file down. I am Emma Carter, holding 37% of Brightsky Group shares, 28 personally, 9% held by Hayes Industries under full voting proxy to me. Gasps filled the room, adding my father, John Carter's 5%. I continued, we collectively hold 42% of shares, making us the largest shareholder of Brightsky Group. Evan's face turned ghostly pale. No, impossible. Hayes Industries can't. The door opened again. Logan Hayes walked in, standing beside me. Hayes Industries has reached a strategic cooperation with Ms. Carter, he said calmly. From today, Brightsky Group's restructuring will be led by Ms. Carter. Evan leapt to his feet. This is my company. I built it. It was, I said, locking eyes with him, but without Carter family funding, without my connections saving you 3 years ago, Brightsky would have died. And don't forget, on our wedding night, you trampled my dignity. I activated the projector. On the screen was Chloe, wearing my bridal pajamas, lying on Evan. Whispers filled the room. Personal moral issues seriously damage company image. Repeated poor business decisions caused a crisis. I read from the proposal. I now move to remove Evan Carter as chairman and CEO. Those in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Over 2/3 raised their hands. Evan slumped in his chair. No, you can't, he muttered. Security, I said. The guards came in and escorted him out. Evan struggled, pointing at me. Emma Carter, you vicious woman. You'll die miserable. Blood spat from his mouth, hitting the conference table. He passed out. The room erupted in chaos. I picked up the microphone. Quiet. All eyes returned to me. Take him to the hospital, I instructed the guards, then continue the meeting. My voice carried no emotion. I now announced 2 decisions. First, Brightsky Group will be officially renamed Epoch Innovations, symbolizing renewal and progress. Second, I, Emma Carter, will serve as the new chairman and CEO of the company. I scanned the room. Any objections? No one spoke. Meeting adjourned later. Evan awoke in the hospital, realizing he had been completely ousted and the company renamed. He went insane, showing up at my company, blocking my car, and kneeling at my front door. Rain poured down that day, soaking him to the bone. He cried, Emma, I was wrong. I can't live without you. I rolled down the window. Rain and tears blurred together on his face. Evan, I said, do you know what I thought when I drank that mixed drink on our wedding night? He froze. I wondered if I died tonight, would you even be sad for a moment? His lips trembled, but then I realized. I continued slowly, you wouldn't. You'd only be annoyed that I ruined your fun. So now, whether you live or die, it's none of my business. I don't care. The window rolled up. Logan Hayes stepped over with an umbrella and opened my car door. He didn't speak, just tilted it over me. As the car drove away, Evan knelt in the rain behind me like an abandoned dog. Later, he reportedly lost his mind and was institutionalized. Chloe was sentenced for embezzlement and corporate espionage. Her face was disfigured in prison. Rumor said she had crossed the wrong people. She tried to approach me later, but my security stopped her. I watched her disgraceful retreat from my office window, emotionless. Some people aren't worth wasting feelings on. 3 years later, Epoch Innovations' market value had tripled, setting a new industry standard. I married Logan Hayes. The wedding was simple, attended only by those who truly mattered. Our rings were my design, just a plain circle, engraved with our initials inside. Logan said, Emma, you don't need any lavish decorations. You yourself are the light. I smiled. No wedding pranks that night. No dice, no mixed drinks. Just the 2 of us, sitting on the balcony, watching the stars. His hand held mine, warm. Still hurts? He whispered. I knew he meant my stomach, my heart, my past. No, I said, and it was true. The liquor that burned down my throat, the images that pierced my heart, the nights I knelt serving drinks, all of it faded. Not forgiveness, just closure. I no longer wasted a single second hating those unworthy. My time was precious, meant for those who loved me, for my career, and for the vast world ahead. Logan, I said, looking at the stars. Thank you. He turned to me, eyes like starlight. For what? For saying enough when everyone else was laughing. He smiled, pulling me close. That's because, he whispered in my ear, from the first moment I saw you, I knew you deserved all respect, all care. I leaned on his shoulder, eyes closed, the city lights glittered like a fallen galaxy, and I knew my true journey was only beginning. Thank you for finishing today's story. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed the story, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. There are more amazing stories waiting for you to experience with me. See you tomorrow.